What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Lincoln Corsair Standard. Huge thank you to Thomas Proctor over at Britt Lincoln of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Corsair or any Lincoln product, I'll be sure to have Thomas's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a rainy one outside here right now. I don't have a rain jacket, so I'm going to try to get through this part of the video as quick as I can because I don't know how heavy it's going to start raining. So just like I always do, first, let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Lincoln Corsair Standard, and this particular one has been painted in infinite black. One of the first things I wanted to say is that for 2023, the Corsair model as a whole did get refreshed on the inside and on the outside with a bigger, more aggressive looking front grille, as well as subtle exterior lighting tweaks and new interior screens. But working our way into our lighting up here at the front, you can see we do get welcome lighting. Basically, I have the proximity key in my pocket, and when I walk up to the vehicle, the daytime running lights turn on. But as standard with the Corsair Standard, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Now working our way to the center of the front end, like I mentioned just a bit ago, for 2023 you now get an updated bigger grille, and the grille itself is silver, and you get the Lincoln logo design integrated into the front grille. I think it looks really sweet, and it's a little bit different than what you find in the Reserve. In the Reserve, the Lincoln logos here are like chrome pieces, whereas all of this stuff like that's silver is not here. So it's kind of like the total opposite of what you get on the Reserve, and I think that's pretty cool to distinct the Reserve from the Standard. But obviously at the center of your front grille is where you'll find your Lincoln logo. And if you wanted a forward-facing camera and front sensors, you would have to opt for the $3,595 Collection 2 package, which would give you the 360-degree view camera system, which would give you a forward-facing camera right there, as well as with that package, it would give you 4 sensors on the outside as well. This particular one, again, is the standard one, so it does not come with that package. And then just beneath your front grille, you have a chrome trim piece, as well as on the outsides of your front bumper, this piece right here is a gloss black L-shaped trim piece, and obviously you get that same thing on this side as well, about right there. Then you also do get a gloss black lower grille and another gray trim piece at the bottom of your front bumper. I say another gray trim piece because I just did a video with a Corsair Reserve, and it had the same gray trim piece at the bottom of the front end. But then if you were wondering about the ground clearance of the Corsair Reserve, you get 7.8 inches of ground clearance. But working our way down the side, you get a side marker light here, as well as satin black wheel arch moldings. And these are the standard wheels that you get with the Standard, and they are an 18-inch silver painted wheel wrapped in 225/60 Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on those tires there real quick. And if you are not a fan of these wheels, as I am not a fan, there are a few different wheel options to choose from with the Corsair. Some of them just you have to get with a package, like the Jet package, which gives you 20-inch black wheels, and then you can get 19-inch wheels with another package. And then there is a 19-inch wheel that you don't have to get a package with, and there are like a $350 option or something like that. But working our way into these side view mirrors, you get gloss black mirror caps, and as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. And then memory settings with the side view mirrors also comes standard. Again, if you wanted the 360-degree view camera system, which would give you side view cameras, you would have to opt for the $3,595 Collection 2 package. But now let's do a little side profile shot of the Standard. You guys can see it's raining pretty hard, but I'm getting this video done for all of you who are looking to purchase one of these in the future. But at the top of the roof line, you guys can see you get chrome window trim. And then obviously at the bottom of your side view windows, you also get some chrome window trim. On the front 2 doors, you get your Corsair badging with the Corsair lettering in chrome. You get some chrome trim, and then you get some satin black backing. Then obviously you get body color door handles with keyless access, and then all the way at the bottom you get some satin black door cladding with that gray trim accenting that you find that gray trim in the front, and then you also find it in the rear, which I'll show you here in a minute. But working our way down the side, you get a capless filler neck. All you got to do, pop that open, and that is what your capless filler neck looks like. 87 octane will do you just fine. Then you also do get a satin black shark fin antenna, as well as a body color roof spoiler with your integrated LED third brake light, which is up top there. You also get a rear window defroster as well as your rear wiper there. And then as standard, you also do get LED taillights back here. As you may be able to tell, your Lincoln logo back here is in chrome. You get another chrome trim piece right here. And then just beneath your C, about right there, is where you will find your backup camera. The backup camera as well as your power lift gate comes standard with the Standard. But working our way into the trunk area, there's quite a respectable amount of trunk space in here considering the size of this vehicle. On the driver's side of your trunk, you have a 12-volt power outlet. And then on the passenger side of the trunk, you get a little storage cubby. This particular one has been optioned with the $160 all-weather floor mats, and that is what this is right here. And then underneath all of that is where you'll find your spare tire as well as your jack, and you get a little bit of storage space down in there as well, either there or there, that you could set a pair of jumper cables. But pressing on that button, the lift gate will begin to drop again. And then with that open, it kind of reminds me of like an Audi Q5 with that bottom piece right there. But then you also do get 2 reflectors back here, as well as they do include side marker lights. And then coming down, you do get a satin black lower bumper with 4 integrated sensors. I'll point those out now. You get one right there, there, and there. And then you also do get a gray valance back here as well with your integrated dual exhaust system. And then let's say you have a jet ski or 2. The max tow capacity of the Corsair is 3,000 pounds. Let me know what you think of the subtle refresh for the Corsair for the 2023 model year in the comments down below. Are you guys a fan? Are you not a fan? Let me know again in the comments down below. I've stated my opinion. I think this does look better. It is, you know, a little bit more of a subtle design change, but I think it just looks that much better and that much more aggressive. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 250 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 6.1 seconds. If you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 22 miles per gallon in the city, 30 miles per gallon on the highway for 25 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive. You can get all-wheel drive as an option if front wheel drive is not good enough for you. Like, let's say you live in the Northeast, you might want to get all-wheel drive. But as you can see, I'm dedicated to my craft. So if you are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers. And if this doesn't show you that I'm determined to get there, I don't know what will. So if you've taken anything from this video, if you've enjoyed this video in any sort of capacity, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, you do get keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these few hash marks right here, and now the vehicle is locked. You can tell the vehicle is locked because the side view mirrors fold in. But there is another way that you can get into the interior without having the key fob, and that is to type in your key code here. And then once you type in that key code, that will also unlock the vehicle. I also wanted to show you a couple of the functions on the key fob. Starting from the top, you have your unlock function, your lock function, your remote start function, your power liftgate function, and your panic function all the way at the bottom. To remote start the vehicle, press the lock button and then press the button under the lock button twice, and the vehicle will fire up. Now let's see what the driver's side door panel has to offer. So taking a look at the driver's side door panel, all of this up top here is all vinyl wrapped. You get 3 memory seat adjustment settings for your driver as standard. Here are your seat controls for your power front driver's seat. You get a chrome looking door handle. All of this area down here is all ebony leather wrapped with some white accent colored stitching. Get your unlock and your lock functions. Pressing on that button will power fold in your side view mirrors. That will restrict your passenger window privileges. Here are your side view mirror controls. Automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. Nicely padded armrest. A little bit of miscellaneous storage space. You get a speaker right there and another speaker down there, and that's about it for the door panel. Now taking a look at our door sill, you get a brushed aluminum Lincoln door sill, and then this is the ebony black leather interior. I do want to step into the interior because I'm tired of getting wet. So like I said, you get keyless access. So all you got to do to start the vehicle, you do get push button start. Just make sure you have your key fob in the interior. Push your foot down on the brake and then push to start, and then everything will turn on. And that is a look at that. I'm glad we got the exterior part of the video done rather quickly. It wasn't raining too bad, but you can definitely see that it is raining. I might clean off the camera a little bit, and we'll go throughout the video now. Let me make sure this is 100%. All right, I just wanted to make sure that the camera didn't have like water bubbles or whatever on it, so it would mess with the video quality. But starting over here, pressing on that button will open and or close your power lift gate. That is to dim your gauge cluster. That is to brighten your gauge cluster. And then at the center of those two buttons is where you'll find your headlight controls. That's off. That is daytime running lights on, headlights automatic, and all the way up top is headlights in the always on position. Coming over to here, unlike the Reserve I just got out of, you get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So what I mean by that, steering wheel will come towards you, steering wheel will go away from you, and then obviously you can move the steering wheel up and down to your liking. Again, on the Reserve 2 I just did a video with, it had a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. But I do want to show you what the turn signal sounds like, so here you go. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Now zooming out just a little bit, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel, and at the center of your steering wheel is where you will find your horn. So we might as well take a listen to that. That is what the horn sounds like on the 2023 Corsair. Now, also on your steering wheel, you get steering wheel mounted paddle shifter. So on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your downshift paddle. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your upshift paddle. Now working our way over to here, this is to volume up, this is to volume down. And then pushing like that, that's to go back on a track. Pushing forward like that, that is to go forward on a track. And then as standard with the Standard, you get adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane centering, speed side recognition, and one other thing I can't think of off the top of my head. But to turn on your adaptive cruise control system, you click this button right here, and then you can see all of this stuff lights up, and it lets you know on screen that it's ready to go. So click that button again, all these lights turn off. Click that button again, and now you have full access into your adaptive cruise control stuff. If you wanted to, you know, select any of these things, you can't just like touch it like that. That's not how it works. There's actually like a little button on the back that you have to press. So you can see, here's like a little bit better of a view. That is the button. And then you can see you get another few buttons back here. That is how you control this. So this is not like touch screen. You have a button on the back to control it. But that's kind of about it for that kind of stuff. Now moving over to here. If you push forward like that, that's going to bring you into your navigation stuff on that screen. If you click over to the right like that, that's going to bring the phone stuff on the screen. Now, the Reserve I just did a video with, I tried to go into the audio stuff and it wouldn't bring it on the screen, but this one will. So then when you click over to that, now that's the audio stuff on screen, and you can see now this has changed. This is either a back button if you push it this way or an OK button if you push it that way. We're going to use the back button, and then it brings you back to this. And then if you click down, that brings you into your settings, and you can see now it's these two controls again. And then you can go into your display setup or any of that kind of stuff. We'll go into that. So this is what your display setup looks like. Again, clicking to the right is your OK button like that. That's your OK button. And then that is your back button. That is your back button again. And then that brings you back into this screen. So there is one more thing that you can do, and that is this button right here. Clicking on that button will either bring you into your calm screen, it will bring you into your trip 1 information stuff, your fuel economy stuff, your tire pressure stuff, your power distribution stuff, and or your driver assistance stuff. I'm going to leave it on this because I believe this is the screen that it was left on. So that's the screen I'm going to leave it on. Up top here, you get your compass, ambient exterior temperature. Lets us know that the auto stop start system is off. Your RPM gauge, also known as your tachometer. Over here, you have your speedometer, and then at the center of your speedometer, you have your digital speedometer readout. That is your speed limit sign. I'll try to get you a better view of that here. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up on camera, but anyways, then this is your transmission status stuff, letting you know if you're in park, reverse, neutral, or drive. Again, we have it set onto the driver assistance screen, so that is why that thing is at the center, or that Corsair is at the center of the screen. Down here, you have your audio stuff, so that's the current song that's playing. Then that is your odometer, that is your coolant temperature gauge. This is your fuel range. And then all the way down here, you have your fuel gauge, and then you have your gas pump pointing to the driver's side of the vehicle, signifying that you fill this vehicle up with gas on the driver's side. And then also mounted on your steering column, you have obviously your windshield wiper control stock for your front windshield wipers and your rear wiper out the back. I'm going to turn on the rear wiper by flipping that up, and you can see now the rear wiper is wiping. Working our way into this screen over here. Again, this is the 13.2-inch Sync 4 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. This is also new for the 2023 model year. I know I already pointed that out, but I'm going to point that out again. So this is what your home screen looks like. Get your time, get the ambient exterior temperature over there. Up top here, it's letting me know how much battery my phone has and how much signal my phone has. That's how much signal the car has for its Wi-Fi hotspot. Then you get your audio stuff here, get your phone stuff down here, you get your navigation stuff here, then you get your settings, your features, and or your apps. So let's go between our different settings. So this is one of your settings screens. This is your second setting screen. And then that is your third setting screen. So swiping back over to here, you can see connectivity stuff. You can go between your driver's seat and your passenger seat. Basically, this is how you adjust your lumbar stuff. You can push it, you can bring it away from you, so you can make yourself very comfortable. Even with these seats, I know these aren't like the perfect position seats that you find in the Aviator, but these are still very, very comfortable seats. By the way, I wanted to say is that the audio system in this was surprisingly good. Normally Lincolns, they kind of lack with their audio system, but I was actually pleasantly surprised at how good this audio system sounded for being the standard audio system. But anyways, that's about it for your setting screens. You can also go in between your different features here. So I'll show you the driver assistance features. Give it a sec. This is one of your driver assistance feature screens. This is the second screen. And then that is the third screen. You can see all the different driver assistance stuff. I'll throw that on screen here in a minute, but you also get a split screen layout. So all the way, it's this side, and then you have the audio stuff. You can swipe down, you can go between your navigation stuff. Swipe down one port, you get your phone stuff, your fuel economy stuff, and your fuel economy stuff again. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on at least on this part of the screen. One thing you also may notice right off the bat for 2023, you no longer get the physical climate control buttons and knobs. I think that was a big mistake, Lincoln. They did the same thing for the Ford Escape. The Ford Escape now has all the controls on the screen as well. I am, for one, you know, I know I'm a younger person, but I definitely prefer my physical buttons and knobs as compared to the stuff on the screen. It is what it is, but yeah, they moved all the stuff now onto the screen. So right here and right here, that is how you control your heated front seats. So heated front seats come standard with the Standard. You do get 3 levels of adjustability with those heated front seats as well. And that is a look at that. And then this is all your climate control stuff at the bottom of the screen. If you want the climate control to take up the entire screen, you click this button right here, and then it's gonna pop up on the entire screen. Then I'll turn it on, and I'll show you what that looks like with it on. That is what the climate control screen looks like up top here. Very, you know, easy to use. It's definitely not hard to use. It's literally, you get all your buttons, but they're just on the screen. I just like my physical buttons and knobs, but that's just the way that I am. Some of you may be like, hey, you know, it's not a big deal. And it's really not a big deal. It makes it very easy, but it is like one extra step to turn on your fan. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's about it for that. You get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know this looks like an HVAC vent, but it is not. It's just like a stylistic cue of the new Corsair. One thing that I really like though is that the trim that they put in here looks very upscale. It's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it looks really, really good here in person. It's kind of like a stainless steel brushed aluminum kind of vibe to it. Looks really, really good, especially on a base model. One thing I wanted to say is that I did a video with a base model Cadillac XT5 a little while ago, and this is way nicer of a base model than that XT5 was. Now, I gotta say, I'm Team Escalade. I'm definitely like the Escalade more than I like the Navigator, but when it comes to these smaller SUVs, Lincoln does a better job with their smaller SUVs, in my opinion, than Cadillac does. But Cadillac does a better job with their full-size SUV, like the Escalade, versus Lincoln does with the Navigator. Just something that I found, just my opinion, but I thought I'd point that out to you guys now. Coming down a little bit, you get your transmission stuff here. So one thing that's interesting is that your moving gears kind of have like a little like feel to them. You can feel that it's a moving gear, but then on the neutral and the park buttons, it's smooth. So it's smooth and smooth. Then you get a little bump here and a bump here for your moving gear, something I always point out. And then you get your push button start button, lets you know that the vehicle is on when it's illuminated in green. If I press that, when the vehicle is off, you can see the green goes away. But again, firing up the vehicle, it's back on, and that's back to green. You still do get a volume control knob, which I do appreciate, but coming over to here, this is going to navigate you to a parking spot, and then you can turn your parking sensors on or off by the push of that button up top there. Coming over here, this one doesn't have a 360-degree view camera system, but you still get the camera button right there. So that's just going to pop up your reverse camera with the guidance lines. That's kind of about it for that. And then you got your hazard button, obviously. You get your hazards now are coming on. That is to turn your auto stop start system on or off. That is to turn your traction control system on or off. And then if you press that, that's going to turn on your front defroster. Press on that button again and it turns back off. And then obviously all of that is piano black. And then you get some of that, you know, chrome right there. I'm going to turn this back off. Because I turned it on by the push of that button. And then come down here, you get a USB-C port, you get a USB-A port. You can see that both of them are illuminated. So if you're driving along at night and you're trying to plug it in, makes it very easy to do so. And then all the way to the left, you have a 12-volt power outlet. And then if you don't want to see any of that, you can close that like that, or you can do that. Anyway, that is what it does there. And then kind of like a black kind of interesting design on that. But then you can also set a phone down in here as well if you wanted to. This, like on the Reserve 2, is where you would find your wireless charging pad. Again, this is the Standard, so you do not get the wireless charging pad. But coming over to here, you get 2 cup holders as well as your drive mode selector and a spot you can set maybe a key fob or something, or some quarters. This is your electronic parking brake. And then again, this is your drive mode selector. So we can go in between our different drive modes on the screen. I believe you have 4 different drive modes. So you have normal, you have slippery, and you gotta go back this way, and then you have excite and conserve, and that's it. So conserve, excite, normal, and slippery. Those are your different drive modes. I know it looks like you have more, but you don't. Anyway, back over to here, you get a nicely padded and leather wrapped armrest with some accent colored white stitching. Opening this up, you get a divider in here that you could set here if you wanted to. Give me a second to set it up. All right, anyway, that divider goes about right there. Now it's in. That is where your divider goes. And then down in here, you don't really have much, but you can fit what you need to down in there. I would say about 45% of my forearm fits down in there. So considering the size of the vehicle, it's actually a respectable amount of storage space down under that center console. You also get a lockable glove box over here, and you get quite a bit of storage space in that glove box. You can fit some snacks, your owner's manual, napkins, stuff like that, you know, the necessities. And you get an auto-dimming rear view mirror. Comparing this to the Reserve had an auto-dimming rear view mirror, but it was a frameless rear view mirror, whereas this one you can see has like that black plastic frame. Obviously, the Reserve costs more money, so you get the nicer looking rear view mirror. And then up top here, lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. And then this is to turn on all your interior dome lights. Again, the push of that button there. And then this is like for your settings. So now you can see it's lit up in amber. Now when I open up the door, the interior lights will not turn on. However, if I press that button again, now the interior lights will turn on when I open up the door. And then obviously if you want to turn on your individual lights up top here, it's basically like a touch screen. So you just touch it and it turns on. You just touch it over there and it turns on. It's basically literally like a touch screen. I think it's pretty cool. And then right here, you have your taco holder. Just kidding. This is where you would set your sunglasses. And then moving over to our visor, you get a little clip. You can set any paper product. Opening this up, you get a visor with 2 vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights. You get another clip right there, and then this slides forwards and backwards so you can block the sun if it's in those annoying positions. Then over here, you get a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. You get another one on that side as well, but the observant viewer may be able to note the passenger gets an OPOOP handle. The driver does not get an OPOOP handle. I do believe this is like your thermostat, like for the interior HVAC system. If I'm wrong, you can let me know down in the comment section. But this thing really doesn't have any options other than the floor mats. However, I did want to go over a couple standard safety features that you get. So I'm going to throw all of those on screen right now, and I'm only going to highlight a few. So essentially, you get blind spot monitoring, you get adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane centering, and speed sign recognition. You also get pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. You get your backup sensors and everything else you can see highlighted on screen right now. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen, and you guys can read over, you know, all the different standard stuff, the one option that this vehicle has, and then also the safety stuff if you wanted to read that as well. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Lincoln Corsair Standard is spec'd is $39,995. Like I said, I think this is a very good value considering everything that you get as standard. You know, this is a very, very nice standard trim level vehicle. I mean, 20 years ago, this would be like a fully loaded vehicle. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very, very nice vehicle for it being the standard vehicle. And I think at $40,000, this is a very great value. Again, that's just my personal opinion. You can let me know what you think in the comments down below. But I do want to say that these front seats are very, very comfortable. It's a Lincoln, you know that. It drives very comfortably. Its seats are very comfortable, but you know, like I said, it's a Lincoln. What do you expect? Very, very comfortable. But I want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before we moved into the driving portion of the video. You can see, look how fast the clouds are moving. Anyways, taking a look at our rear door panel, this is what it looks like, all vinyl wrapped at the top. All of this area here is all leather wrapped. You get the white accent colored stitching, automatic up and down windows here in the back. Let's see, that's how far the windows go down in the back, and then rolling back up. That you can see automatic up, a little bit of miscellaneous storage space back there, speaker and another speaker, and you get a spot you can set a Deer Park water bottle. This is what your second row seats look like. They can fold down, pull up on that, and then you can fold your second row seats down. They do fold flat. However, you can see the headrest is up just a tad bit. Sorry, close that. Now stepping on into these rear seats, there is one thing that I did not mention about the front seats that I think is awesome that Lincoln does. Not only do these move up and down, they also move forwards and backwards. So you can, you know, make yourself very comfortable on a road trip. You don't have to use those neck muscles to hold your neck up. The headrest will do that for you. So I think that is awesome. But sitting here in these rear seats, you can see I've got quite a bit of legroom. That is how much legroom I have. I'd say 5 or 6 inches. And then you get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You also get a seat back pocket over there behind the passenger seat. I do apologize that the lighting is not all that great. But then you get 2 HVAC vents. And then coming down here, opening this up, you get 2 USB-C ports down there. You also get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. That is what that looks like. O-poop handle and a spot to set your dry cleaning, as well as a dome light. Same thing goes for this side as well. One thing I did want to point out is that these seats do recline. So they can recline there, and now I am very, very comfortable. These seats themselves are very, very comfortable. And then you can also reach under here and grab this, and you can slide it forwards and backwards, which you normally don't find on a vehicle like this. So now you can see, look how much extra legroom I have here just by sliding it backwards. Now, obviously the trunk space is gonna suffer, but it is what it is. You can make yourself very comfortable. There's a ton of adjustability even for your second row passenger seats, which is always, always nice. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Corsair. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, and now on to the driving portion of the review, where this thing drives very, very nicely. And like I was mentioning on the interior part of this video, this is a really, really nice standard trim level. I mean, it really is. You know, you get pretty much every option that you really need and more. You know, you get the blind spot monitoring, you don't need that. You get the backup camera, you don't necessarily need that, but pretty much every single vehicle comes from factory now with a backup camera. You get adaptive cruise control with lane centering, speed sign recognition, you get automatic emergency braking, you get forward collision alert. I mean, there are just so many features that you wouldn't expect to come standard, especially on a Lincoln. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe on a Subaru, okay, I understand. But on a Lincoln, you know, this is like a higher tier brand. And normally, you know, like Audi, BMW, Mercedes, all of these premium car manufacturers, they make all of these options a la carte. Here's a little acceleration. This thing's got plenty of get up and go. But as I was saying, you can see your driver assistance stuff is on screen. It was letting me know that I was drifting out of the lane. Here, I'll do it again on purpose. I'm drifting to the left. You can see it lights up in red, being like, on the side that you're drifting, it lights up in red, basically telling you, hey dude, you got to straighten out, get in the middle of the lane, not towards one side of the lane. So again, that is an option that you wouldn't expect at least this vehicle to come standard with, and it does come standard with it, which is very, very nice. But another thing I wanted to say is that these seats are so comfortable. I mean, it's a Lincoln, I shouldn't even have to say that, but you know, some people just don't know Lincoln as a brand. Lincoln makes their vehicles very, very comfortable. I know these aren't the perfect position seats, but they are so comfortable. I could do a long road trip in this. I'd be very happy to drive this every day just because of how comfortable the seats are. And my dad's got a 2017 Lincoln MKZ, and he doesn't have the massaging seats. He's just got like the standard base seats, and they are so comfortable, like literally so comfortable. You could do a long road trip and not, you know, have to worry about your back hurting or anything like that. I mean, that is literally how comfortable these seats are. So very comfortable ride, very comfortable seats. Now when it comes to handling, you know, it's a Lincoln, it's a Ford, they don't necessarily handle the greatest as compared to like a Cadillac or something along those lines, but whereas they don't handle the greatest, that is because they are very comfortable to drive. They soak up bumps very, very well. And that's kind of what you want on a daily, you know? You want something that's very comfortable. I would not want to be riding a motorcycle right now, but that's what you want. Again, you want something that's very, very comfortable to sit in and to drive, and that is exactly what this is. Very comfortable to sit in, very comfortable to drive. And one thing that's different from the Standard to the Reserve has to do with the headlights, is that the Standard gets LED reflector headlights, whereas the Reserve gets dual LED headlights, which I believe means that they're projector, whereas these are reflector, and you can kind of tell the difference. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know that like on the Reserve, they do like say like they're the dual LED headlights, whereas on this, they're just LED headlights. So I would assume that on the Reserve, you do get the projector, whereas here I do know that you do get the reflector. Anyways, they're both great headlights. They both will light up the road and make it very easy. Oh my God, somebody must have slid off the road there. Oh, I don't know how that would have happened, but somebody definitely slid off the road there. Damn, that sucks. I would totally pull them out if I had my little Honda Ridgeline. I would hook them up and pull them out, but I don't, and this isn't my vehicle, so I'm not going to do it. And plus, this is front wheel drive. This isn't going to do much. How they got stuck like that, I don't know, because I don't know how they would have been facing that direction, but like they went down. Anyways, I know that has nothing to do with the car review, but that's your entertainment for today. See, my videos are somewhat entertaining rather than educational. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, turning back down this road, I'm still kind of stumped on how that happened, but I'm gonna give you a little acceleration. It's not gonna be floored. I'm gonna give you a little hard acceleration here. Here you go. I'd say I'm giving about 40% throttle. You can see very quick acceleration, and that is one thing about like I know this isn't technically an EcoBoost, but it's an EcoBoost. Actually, I don't know if this is an EcoBoost, because I think it could be like an Atkinson or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is the 2-liter EcoBoost. EcoBoost motors are awesome, and I don't know why Lincoln, you know, they don't consider these EcoBoosts. They don't even like have really a name for them, but these motors are very peppy, and this is no different. This is a very, very peppy motor. It's got great amount of power. And you know, one thing I wanted to go back into that guy, you know, in that ditch back there, it is very easy to slide off the road into that ditch, but you know, you'd be facing like forward into the ditch rather than he was facing towards the road, whereas it'd be opposite. Anyways, it's very easy to do that, like going around that turn, and you give it any sort of gas, you can definitely slide off the road. Anyways, back into this video. This is a great value. I would definitely recommend, if you're looking for a vehicle that's nice, it's got the premium name, it's got the premium look, put this on your short list of vehicles to test drive. I mean that truthfully, because my dad's got a Lincoln. I was the one who recommended him to get that MKZ. He's got the 3-liter. That thing's got 400 horsepower, 400 torque. That thing hauls ass. Anyways, that's besides the point. I would truthfully recommend you go out and take a look at this vehicle because it is very nice, it's very comfortable, and I think it is a great value at $40,000. Plus, it's got really good get up and go considering what it is. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I mentioned a little bit ago in the video, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. So if you enjoyed this video in any sort of capacity, if you took anything from this video, please take a second out of your day to give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Again, I would greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That really benefits my channel. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.